taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. And as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Pilot?
Tick tick, tick tick, tick tick, tick tick. tick. Wake your sleepy ass up. Tick tick.
Hey yo, go down to the next light skinned nigga then.
Okay. So,
all right, next light skinned nigga. All right.
Next up, I believe that's me, King P. Light up the mic for the symphony.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready.
Okay. I'll pass it back to you. Hold up. Let's rewind this.
Rewind.
Scroll up, nigga.
But yeah, real quick in regard to the media thing, it was weird because there was the press row had
Introduce yourself first, nigga. Introduce yourself.
My fault. Weird. Yeah, okay. Well, first things first. Rest in peace, Apollo Creed. Anyways, Ring In Radio. Conscious Pilots here, elevated, and we're here. Never hated. You know what it is. I'm here. Let's get it.
Okay, there we go. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the clouds. Well, I don't know if he's fully in the clouds yet, but we might actually be in the clouds.
We're about to take off. We're about to take off. We're here. We're about to take off.
But y'all got my stars and shit. He ain't in the clouds, nigga.
But y'all got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You already know what this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Well, now they calling me Well Actually, because I'm always giving you what it is. Well, actually, I'll tell you this. Well, actually, Ring Gang Radio, we the best in town. You know what I'm saying? We the best boxing cast on YouTube, in boxing Twitter, no matter. You know what I'm saying? We like Carl Weathers. We lethal with both hands. So you know what it is. Ring Gang Radio. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. And is anyone banned from the bodega this week?
I might get into that later. I'll save that for later because I don't want to go into a rant now. Let's get the boxing stuff first because my rant is something else, and then if we get to that, then I'll go on my rant about who's banned. So.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, and last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What it do? Is the light skinned nigga here. Got a lot of niggas that don't know they light skinned in this role and this shit. So yeah. We back.
Not bad. Live podcasting, But no, my bad. We here.
But yeah, let's salute to my nigga Pilot. Had his first event this weekend for the Conor Ben fight. Because we back in here, El Capitan, ringgangradio.com in the building. We back here for a Monday. Mondays be busting now, you know what I mean? Low key. Mondays is kind of doing their thing. We'll eventually do a couple Sundays, maybe a Friday, whatever the fuck. You know how we do. I appreciate everybody fucking with the damn the boxing videos that we've been putting up. Shout outs to PJ Cousin for scoring that brutal ass second round KO. Hell yeah. God damn it. And that's his first fight too. So be on the lookout for dude. Make sure y'all follow him.
Was that in Canada? Was that in Canada? That was vicious. Was that in Canada? Or
yes. That fucking vicious as hell. Right in Canada. Micah Joe _D MICAJO_D on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow him, man. Like real shit. Like dude legit with their hands. Like and if he related to PJ, you know what I mean, you already know that shit. Like they're only going up. It's crazy. Like a professional boxer could knock a motherfucker out, and y'all give me more views for just dodging like 3-4 punches. But y'all gotta chill with the comments with the damn there's a grassy area in the background. And nigga, we know we at the fucking park, bro. This ain't Gotti Ward. Niggas be like, Yo, I just gotta address this real quick. Like, niggas be killing me with the whole all that concrete. Look, nigga, in a real life,
yeah.
Niggas you in fight, you're gonna be on concrete 90% of the times.
Yeah. Practicing your craft and sparring, I can see why people thought that, because in real fights, you know, you see what happens. But yeah, I mean, that for what you guys were doing, the purpose of it, I see no problem with it, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you know boxing, you could tell we're not throwing hard, crazy like that. It's more to just kind of keep you aware of punches and when to punch and how to punch, and you know what I mean. There's certain things that, like, if you train, you'll understand. If not, I know my methods be unorthodox and shit, but yeah, like, y'all niggas gotta chill with the whole grass. Like, this ain't Dragon Ball Z. If a nigga step to you and y'all about to fight, the motherfucker ain't gonna be like, hey, let's go to an abandoned field away from civilization. This might get crazy, though.
Yeah.
The power levels, your right hand might be on another level, nigga. Like, no, bro, we gonna throw hands right there. Ain't no fucking. I remember these two Dominican motherfuckers in Deerfield stepped to me and my pops on some shit talking about, hey, let's take it to the streets. Nigga, we already outside. What the fuck? Like, so y'all niggas chill with this. Ain't no nigga, if someone disrespect you enough or want to fight you, you handling that shit right then and there. And that's what I teach on. So we gonna have more videos where niggas gonna be on the concrete boxing and shit. Like, so let's deal with it, man.
In the grass, your footing isn't really, you know, your footing, you know, on the concrete, at least when you're practicing, your footing is going to be a little better than on the grass, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Shit. And nigga, and I ain't gonna lie, anytime I boxed in the grass, a lot of times, like, niggas be dropping me in the grass. Motherfucker don't barely drop me in no concrete. Grass niggas be, I don't know what it is. Motherfuckers that drop me in some grass. Like, so I've been power bombed in the grass. Like, nigga, fuck a grass, nigga.
I hit that rock bottom on a nigga before on the grass.
And that nigga took like 10 minutes to get up afterwards.
Yeah, it looked good for a second. Like, shit.
So motherfuckers be like, grass, all this grass. And one motherfucker was like, skill. Like, one motherfucker started assuming skill levels. Like, y'all been to drop your hands down, to have your hands down low. Learn to slip punches properly. You guys don't know the level to practice. Like, nigga, how the fuck you know what level we at? God damn. I already could tell you just had a fit during that Ben Whitaker fight, ain't it?
I mean, engagement is engagement, bro. You know.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, like, yo, salute all the engagement though. But yeah, man, you know, we were gonna have more videos on concrete, nigga.
I had people, you know, tell me, you know, oh, like the video before the three-way pause. I had people tell me in the chat, they're like, damn, that was hilarious. They were giving love to it and shit. So yeah.
Oh, word. Nah, I appreciate it. Like,
that was pretty
out, but yeah. And there's gonna be more videos where nigga hands gonna be down. You know, don't let me find out you a Tyson Fury fan and you hating on that shit, or you a Hamed or Roy Jones fan. Yo, y'all gotta stop hating on that, hands down. Shout outs to Ben Whitaker. Like, niggas be having fun out here.
I had no issues with that at all. I had no issues with that. Because you know what?
Yeah, motherfuckers trying to have fun out here.
It rung his name. Like, it rung it, like, you know, before nobody knew who Ben Whitaker really was unless you're a hardcore. But like, this had people like, oh, Emmanuel Augustus. You know, now he's actually known. Because, you know, he's on, I wish he was on with Eddie. Because he's with Frank Warren. And I feel like I hate prospects on with Frank, you know, Warren, because it's not, I don't know, Eddie's better handling, you know, up and coming fighters, I feel like. So,
well, Frank Warren has the Saudi deal, so he right now, you give him some time, he'll be in the Saudi
that's true.
limelight.
Yeah, but yeah, that whatever little shit you do in the boxing ring that helps sells yourself, go for it. As long as you don't get knocked out, it is what it is. I've been caught with my hands up. I've been caught more with my hands up than hands down. So it's like, you gotta have a feel for these things. So that's all it is, yo. But it's all fun, love. You know, we appreciate the engagement. More shit coming up this week. More training footage. All of that shit. Gonna bust out some opinions. All that shit. So yeah, that's what it is, man. We appreciate it, all of it. All love. And shout out to Anthony in the comments. We see you, Playboy.
Yeah, and then also too, I mean, before we get into our pound for pound discussion, though, definitely gotta talk about, you know, someone who meant a lot to the culture, and it could be different cultures too. It could be American culture, black culture, mainstream culture, action culture, boxing culture, all types of culture.
Listen,
Small culture.
These hands are they're in every culture. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no culture that doesn't understand fist to fist.
Exactly.
It transcends every culture.
Yes, exactly, and that's why when I wrote the tweet today, just announcing what we're doing today, we definitely got to talk about the late great Carl Weathers, who passed away, I think about 4 days ago in his sleep at the age of 76, and it was a surprise too because Carl Weathers because he was just in some of the commercials with Gronk, for the whole Super Bowl shit.
I forgot. I saw that. I remember that.
Yeah, and dude looked like he was still like in shape, in some shape. Like he looked healthy.
I saw one picture of him commercial makeup. I saw one picture where he actually looked kind of old. I mean,
he's 76.
Yeah, 76. 76. I know. I'm just saying, like, but for the longest, because he was on Arrested Development too, in a comedic role, not too long ago type shit. So
yeah. Well, with him, and why it's like such a, because Carl Weathers came in a time where, and we've mentioned about representation, like, especially for black people, especially in the 70s, because 70s was like this is a little Black history lesson coming up. Black history in the 70s, obviously blaxploitation was on the rise, and it was on the rise just to give black people more of a voice in how the image was, because as we all know, like the black image, like in back in the days, was not the most positive, and so let's say a lot of black people,
they had most of the motherfuckers shooking and jiving. Like,
and in the 70s it was a little different.
Fucking and jiving, nigga, not shooking.
You talking about the black people?
I said shooking.
Maybe your accent. I'm sorry.
But you're talking about the black like y'all talking about the blaxploitation era, basically.
Yeah, well, no, the black people wasn't shucking and jiving. I mean, they were, love, because most of them, like, in that era, like, at least the black actors that did the blaxploitation movies, they were.
No, I'm saying. Go ahead. I meant before. Like, before the blaxploitations, if you was black, you was either in you was cast in the most negative, disparaging way.
Exactly.
And, you was fucking and jiving and shit like that. They was basically using you to make fun of.
Yeah, and a lot of black actors were not getting that type of mainstream looks. Because like I said, a lot of famous actors did blaxploitation movies. Like, the cat who did Willie Dynamite was on Sesame Street. Bill Cosby, the best Bill Cosby movies are in the blaxploitation era. The great William Marshall did Blackula. Michelle Nichols did Truck Turner. Like, I can go on and on and on and on and on.
The Education of Sonny Carson, I love that. With the Iron Man samples, classic.
Yeah, exactly. Pam Grier made her name in the blaxploitation era.
Coolie High, niggas. Coolie High is a classic. Shit.
Yeah, but even then, like, talk about but in terms of mainstream roles, like, there wasn't a lot, and Carl Weathers was able to make that breakthrough, of course, in his now iconic role in Rocky as Apollo Creed. And for once, it was number one. Basically, it was number one. He was a heavyweight champion. Number one, he was well spoken. He was intelligent. There was no foolery, like a lot of nonsense. And on top of that, because he brought a sense of decorum to the pride, like black masculinity into that role, especially from a guy who didn't even have a boxing background. Although he was a football player. He was an Oakland Raider in the 70s. If you were Oakland Raiders in the 70s, you were a bad motherfucker automatically.
I had no idea he was on the Raiders. That's crazy.
Yeah, and the funny thing, like, he had no boxing experience, but he faked it till he make it, and he still looked like a natural. Especially
he looked more of a boxer than some of these motherfuckers now.
He looked the part.
Back then, when he was coming up, boxing was the king. Boxing was number one sport. So
Yeah, and especially, and then obviously because Sylvester Stallone, obviously, he came up with Rocky after watching Ali versus Chuck Wepner. So his screenplay had to have somebody had something realism, because white people have to have their images, as Ali once said, wherever they can make them. So enter making someone who was like Muhammad Ali, and that was Carl Weathers with Apollo Creed. And to his credit, for a man with no boxing background, he imitated the hell out of Ali in that movie, like the movement and everything.
he
all
was
of
the
that.
heel, like he was the bad guy, but you know he was kind of a good guy. Obviously, you know they made peace and everything, but you rooted for him. You know, like the Rocky movies, the 4 Rocky movies, 3 mainly would not be the same without Carl Weathers.
Without someone like Carl Weathers to actually do the role, like Rocky probably would have flopped. Like you know, like and because
it's like a good movie needs a good villain and antagonist. So yeah,
exactly. And that was it. And you know he rode that role to the top. You know, like because like I said, that was a mainstream look, and there wasn't a lot of black actors getting that type of mainstream look like in a big budget film like Carl Weathers was, and that led to some other classics, of course. Outside the Rockies, of course, Predator, which is one of the greatest fucking movies of all time. Honestly, if you don't like Predator, you don't like film, cinema, and nothing like that.
And he went out like a G though, and he went out like a G, guns blazing.
I mean,
there's certain movies that if you don't like, it says more about you than anything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, if somebody doesn't like Predator, I would have to ask them to sit down and explain why they don't like it, because it hasn't like.
That goes 1 and 2 though. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I agree with Pete because I remember him not liking Scarface. At least he gave a basis and reasoning behind it. I mean, what like? Not me not liking it, but
2 is great as well, but 1 is just to me 1 is
one is classic, like because it's everything you wanted. 2 was one of those. It was almost as good, but at the time. Like I ain't gonna lie, growing up as a kid, everybody kind of wanted the whole jungle thing again. Right. So when you seen them niggas in the forest, when you seen them niggas in the buildings in the city, it kind of threw everybody off. We're like, oh shit. But the thing is, we still watched it and enjoyed it. It's just you had that these niggas need to get back into the jungle again. But it was one of those Predator movies where it's kind of like Jay-Z's first album. More people appreciated it later on in hindsight, and you didn't have nobody selling it and telling you to appreciate it. You just kind of realized, like, after more came out, you're like, Predator 2 wasn't that bad. Like, Predator 2 was kind of hitting, like, or you start looking at it. So yeah. Oh man, wow!
But Predator 1 set shit up. I mean, honestly, and of course he was iconic as Dylan, and then of course that led to a movie that should have had its own. This should have been its own platform. This should have had sequels. Jericho Action Jackson is a fucking classic. That movie made like 12, 13 times its budget, like, and it was a box office success. But for whatever fucking reason, they didn't greenlight sequels, and this was a problem with a lot of black actors in the 80s. Like example with Timok and The Last Dragon, that shit was a hit, and they never gave him any sequels or much less any other type of work. And, it's like this. So it was like actually
it was good for giving niggas one-offs,
Yeah, and Action Jackson. I mean, honestly, Biggie memorialized that in a line. Like Action Jackson, like. That was a whole punchline, but it was a positive punchline because dude was just literally, he was kicking ass all through that fucking movie.
But movies. Oh, you on mute? Pause. I mean, what's his name? King P.
I get it. I would have liked to see a spin-off, like more like for Action Jackson, but it left me just fine. It was enough for the first one. Like just for one of them, it was great. It would have been great to see more though.
Yeah, and he should have. They should have.
We don't have no franchises like that. That's why, like, it would have been great.
Yeah, and
I mean, my thing is like, I'm very when it comes to franchises because it always starts off great, and then they can never just keep maintaining that level of quality. It always is gonna go downhill eventually.
The 90s was different though. Like niggas was maintaining quality in them sequels back then. Like. But maybe I'm greedy, nigga. I wanted Tangle and Cash sequel. I wanted everything. The little nigga wanted everything a sequel back then, man. Yeah. But fucking they tried. I mean, you remember Hurricane Smith?
Yeah, they absolutely. Yeah, Hurricane Smith, absolutely. And dude was in Heat of the Night, as you know. And Heat of the Night's one of them shows Yeah, that's one of them grown shows that you might catch at some time like that because it wasn't a show like I watched it and that shit was dope. Like
I feel like or not remakes, but second, third movies happened more so in the 90s because of Rocky. I think Rocky played a huge role in terms of, maybe I'm wrong, I'm not a film historian, but I feel like in the 80s, there wasn't really. I mean, there were some flops, but the 90s is when you saw Rush Hour 2, Bad Boys 2, and all that. And I'm just talking, just a lot more.
Nah, you got to remember. The 90s, you had all the RoboCop sequels, Alien sequels, Terminator sequels.
Yeah.
But you still got some of these sequels in the 80s, though.
I did forget Godfather, but I'm a lie. I never watched The Godfather. So.
Yeah,
damn, you ain't never seen Godfather?
I mean, in pieces. My pops would watch it when I was young, but I never ended up, I'm just being honest.
Nah, you gotta. That's like film.
I gotta eventually sit down and watch the. Yeah, I know.
I mean, dude was in some.
The one that's hard for me to watch is Once Upon a Time in America.
I ain't gonna lie. I've never watched in full Action Jackson. Y'all can kill me for it, but I never watched it in full.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, you need to go watch that. Yeah.
And then Black man.
I watched Rocky. I watched a lot. At least I watched what other one with Last Dragon with Vanity. So shit, I'm halfway there.
Vanity was that thick, yo. Like, damn.
Vanity was like dope. And then, like I said, he did.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Aliens. Aliens to me is an example of why I'm okay with certain movies not being franchises because Aliens just went down as every movie that went along and just went.
Wait, hold on, wait. Aliens 2 is a classic, bro. Like that's looked
after
at as
2. No. After 2, it went down. Like,
but you gotta remember, like everybody was getting great second movies. Look, Lethal Weapon 2, classic. Aliens 2, classic. Terminator 2, classic. Nigga, that's enough fucking like sequel classics where niggas was like, you know what? Fuck it. Bring the peas. I'll allow 3. Yeah, fuck it. I'll allow 3. You was dude. Fucking some of them sequels, like Predator was the only one in real time that wasn't looked at as like Predator 2 was the only one at real time that wasn't looked at as a classic sequel. It was still looked at as good, but it wasn't like how Terminator 2 and Aliens niggas was like, oh shit, fuck part 1, nigga.
Well, the reason why is because they didn't have any of the original one, at least the ones that were still living in the first Predator, back from Predator 2, which kind of like we're talking about the continuity of it. It just made a whole new movie with just maybe one character from the first one on there. That's the whole reason why. But in Predator, by hindsight, Predator 2 actually aged very well though. But but let me not digress from what like this.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, but yeah, like even well into the 90s, of course. Happy Gilmore with Chubbs Peterson. That was in the case he did a comedic role. Of course that was classic. He did that. Of course he reprised that in Little Nicky, and then he did a lot of left TV stuff, like Arrested Development. I see the clips. Oh, I didn't watch Arrested Development. That wasn't my type of thing. But you see a whole bunch of clips of.
Happy Gilmore. He was hilarious in Happy Gilmore and shit to me.
Yeah, no, he was. Like, he was classic. He was classic in Happy Gilmore.
I think he always killed his roles to the point where he's almost as memorable as the star, or even more memorable. Like you could almost say like there's more memorable Apollo parts in the first 4 Rockies than Rocky.
Yeah,
you can literally put him up there. Like, of course, we're all gonna remember Stallone going up the the steps and shit and certain. Yeah, it's his movie, but you'd be hard pressed that Apollo's right there with him in every scene, like killing. Just to add to the fact, because Creed was such a strong character. Obviously that's why Creed got the first official Rocky spinoff from one of his characters. Which now it's had 3 movies, and trying to continue the story of Creed and everything like that. And even up to like his last days, he was on The Mandalorian. And for which he got his first Emmy nomination. Like after 45 years in the business, he actually gets nominated for something like that. And he was killing his role on there too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, Carl Weathers opened up a lot of doors. Like, for all your Wesley Snipes, for your Billy Blanks, for a whole bunch of black action stars to do their thing in the 80s and then well into the 90s and stuff like that. Like,
And I mean, at least he managed to get his flowers in his in his last years or whatever like that though. But yeah, no, it's sad though because like I said, because you feel like damn, like you thought he was someone because he was still jacked for a 76-year-old. So you thought
you see his arms.
Yeah, like I mean, in his prime, like honestly, like there was Rocky, with the Rocky, Arnold, Dolph Lundgren. That dude was just as ripped as any of them, like too, and he's probably the one that didn't look like he was roided out like the other ones were. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because Carl Weathers looked like the athlete. Like you look like if you gave him a tennis racket, he'll Pete Sampras your ass. Give him a volleyball, he'll volleyball your ass. You give him basketball, he'll cross you up, shoot 3-pointers, slam. Like he just looked like he'd be great in every sport.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Where everybody else, like Arnold and all them niggas, they just look swole.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Dolph Lundgren looked like he'd fuck you up too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Dolph Lundgren will probably fuck you up. I mean, that dude was a kickboxer. He will fuck you up. But you know what I'm saying? But
he had that menacing, like where Arnold don't give you menacing. He just gives you like, yo, this a big, strong looking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
But Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fuck with Dolph. Like,
yeah,
Dolph Lundgren. Like the two, like growing up, the two white boys that I always looked at as like, I don't want to fuck with these dudes, was Dolph and Van Damme. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme was the other one. Yeah. The motherfucker always was crazy to me. That crazy white boy. Nah, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, and
I agree with you on the Dolph Lundgren. Van Damme was more like if I don't let him kick, I probably could win. I probably got a chance. I don't let this nigga do some split, or some crazy shit.
Yeah, no, that shit is crazy though. But yeah, no, Carl Weathers though, like I said, he actually, I mean, he looked like an athlete. He carried himself like an athlete. He wasn't roided up like that was all like you could tell that was just like hard work in the goddamn gym. Like that wasn't no crazy muscle and shit like that dude had. Like that was goals. You know what I'm saying? Like. But yeah, though it's a shame though. Like I said, I mean, he did a lot in his 76 years, man. So yeah, definitely gotta salute him. One last time. And I think he has a Super Bowl commercial coming out. I know they're probably gonna edit that shit because of his passing. They're probably gonna do some shit like that. But yeah, definitely rest in peace to Carl Weathers, man. And thank you, for portraying positive roles. No shucking, no jiving, no buffoonery, none of that. Like
no wearing a skirt, no
wearing a skirt, exactly.
Yeah. Damn, like honestly, like I feel like no one's really carrying the torch for that nigga right now. Like Wesley had it, but no one on a mainstream level really kind of just took it over. Like, and that's the kind of sadness that.
I mean, for black action. I mean, Michael Jai White could have, but
I was just saying, Michael Jai White was restoring the feeling.
But then he kind of took a lot of B movies and then went to them C movies real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have. So the torch is still there for a black martial artist or something like that, or someone like athlete turned actor to actually do his thing. But remains to be seen. But yeah, definitely rest in peace, Carl Weathers, man, and thank you for your positive contributions to the black community and to everything else.